Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everybody, so welcome to today's Creepypasta channel. I'm sorry that we haven't been making Creepypastas much. The last one was 2 days ago, and I've been busy getting my channel updated and stuff, and I've just been busy for the last couple days. So I'm back here now for a Creepypasta named Dead Bart, which I've seen on Creepypasta, Mr. Creepypasta, and a bunch of other channels. And I've been trying to doing the last episode of The Simpsons because I love The Simpsons, and they're on their 20. I think they're, what is it? They've been around from 1989, and they're still airing new episodes today. But let's talk about this creepypasta. This one's a Dead Bart episode, and yes, this is the photo from the actual Wikipedia page, which is down below. And I'm using my new headphones. I think these are new, but yeah, let's get started. You know how Fox's weird way of counting Simpsons episodes. They refused to count a couple of them, making the amount of episodes inconsistent. The reason for this is a lost episode from season 1. Finding details about this missing episode is difficult. No one who was working on the show at this time likes to talk about it. From what has been pieced together, the last episode was written entirely by Matt Groening during the production of the first season. Matt started to act strangely. He was very quiet, seemed nervous and morbid. Mentioning this to anyone who was present, we saw them getting very angry or forbidding you to ever mention it to Matt. I first heard of it at an event where David Silverman was speaking. Someone in the crowd asked about the episode. Silverman simply left the stage, ending the procession hours early. The episode production number is 7G06. The title was Dead Bart. The episode labeled 7G06 Moaning Lisa was made later and giving Dead Bart's production code to hide the latter's existence. Addition to getting angry, asking anyone who was on the show about this case, them to everything they can stop you from directly communicating with Matt Groening. At a fan event, I managed to follow him after he spoke to the crowd and eventually had a chance to talk to him alone as he was leaving the building. He didn't seem upset that I had followed him. Probably expected a tropical encounter with an obsessed fan. When I mentioned the lost episode, though, all colors drained from his face and he started to tremble. When I asked him if he could tell me any details, he sounded like he was on the verge of tears. He grabbed a piece of paper and wrote something on it and handed it to me. He begged me never to mention the episode again. Sorry. The piece of paper had a website address on it. I would rather not say what it was for reasons you'll see in a second. I entered the address into my browser and came up to a site that was completely black except for a line of yellow text, a download link. I clicked on it and the file started downloading. Once the file downloaded, my computer went crazy. It was the worst virus I have ever seen. The system restore didn't work. The entire computer had to be rebooted. Before doing this, I copied the file onto a CD and tried to open it onto a now empty computer. As I suspected, there was an episode of The Simpsons on it. The episode started off like any other episode, but had a very poor quality animation. If you've seen the original animation for some of the intern evening, it was similar. Some enchanting evening, it was similar but less stable. The first act fairly normal, but was the characters acted was a little off. Homer seemed angrier, Marge seemed depressed, Lisa seemed anxious, and Bart seemed to have a genie a genie angry in hatred for his parents. The episode was about the Simpsons going on a plane trip. At the end of the first act, the plane was taking off. Bart was fooling around as you expect. However, as the plane was about 50 feet off the ground, Bart broke a window and was sucked out. At the beginning of the series, Matt had an idea of an animated style of The Simpsons would represented life and death, turn things more realistic. This was used in the episode. The picture of Bart's corpse was barely recognizable. They took a full advantage of it, having move and made an almost photorealistic drawing of his dead body. Act 1 ended with the shot of Bart's corpse. When Act 2 started, Homer, Marge, and Lisa were sitting at their table crying. The crying went on and on. It got more painted, and sounded more realistic. Better acting than you would think possible. The animation started to decay more as they cried. You can hear mumbling. I can't read that. You can hear mumbling in the background. The characters could barely make made out. They were stretching and blurring. They looked like deformed shadows with random bright colors thrown on them. There was faces looking in the window, flashing in and out, so you never sure what they looked like. The crying went on for all of the Act 2. Act 3 opened with the title saying, "1 year has passed." Homer, Marge, and Lisa are skeletally thin and sitting at the table. There was no signs of Maggie and the pets. They decided to visit Bart's grave. Springfield was completely deserted, and as they walked to the cemetery, houses become more and more decrepit. They all looked abandoned when they got to the grave. Bart's body was just laying in front of the tombstone, looking just like it did at the end of the Act 1. The family started crying again. Eventually they stopped and just started Bart's body. The camera zoomed in on Homer's face. According to the summaries, Homer was telling a joke at this part, but it is not audible in the version, so you can't tell me what Homer is saying. The view zoomed out as the episode came to a close. The tombstone in the background had the names of every Simpsons guest star on them. Some that no one have heard of in 1989. Some hasn't even been on the show yet. All of them have their death dates on them. For all the guests died since, like Michael Jackson and George Harrison, the dates were when they would die. The credits are completely silent and seemed handwritten. The final image of the Simpsons family on their couch like in the intros, but all drawn hyper-realistic, lifeless style of Bart's corpse. A thought occurred to me after seeing the episode for the first time. You can try to use the tombstones to predict the death of living Simpsons guest stars, but there's something odd about most of the ones that haven't died yet. All of their deaths were listed the exact same date. Okay then. And if you guys want to go check this out, there is also a video that's only 4 minutes and 32 seconds long. If you guys want to go check it out, it is on the Wikipedia channel, which I'll have the link below the screen for you, so you guys can go check it out. And there's a video named, there's a video on the bottom that I guess has a little bit of it, whatever, doesn't matter. So that's really the end of the episode. Sorry about the picture in the video. That's all I can find of the photos. Don't worry, there was more creepy photos, but this is all I can find. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, smack that thumbs up button, leave a comment, subscribe, and that's about it. See you guys, bye!